Hey guys, just a quick video to show you how to use the DSK import export feature and how to use the looting options. Um, Pretty straightforward as long as you get the syntax right. You might need to do it if we do another alt run or regular looters not here. So I'm in a normal group at the moment. I've got my Druid and 2 Hot, they're both offline, that's why they're not showing. But if I go /DSK now, it's going to bring up the DSK window. Everything's going to be greyed out because we're not in a raid group and I'm not the master looter. So this is what it's going to look like for everyone that's not in a group, as well as everyone that is in the raid group but isn't the master looter. They can look at the lists. It'll highlight people that are online if we're in a raid group, and then there's the IE list, which looks a bit... I've got this list because I was mucking around with it earlier. Sometimes it just has instructions about how to do it, but we don't need to worry about that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and convert this to a raid group, which has changed us to raid frames. My add-on Exorcist raid tools I've set to automatically change the loot method to master loot, but if you don't know how to, you can just right click your portrait, go loot, change it to guild master loot. Now that I am master looting, you can see I'm on the master looter. If I go /DSK, it's going to give me some more options. On the import export tab, there's now the import button. On the normal list tab, I can add players, delete players, murder, and the sync is still there. The closed bid's grayed out. We only use that when we're actually doing the loot. So first things first, I'd suggest clearing whatever lists are in here just to make it easy to work with. So what you do is you go to the IE list tab, just click in it, go Control A, delete. That'll clear everything in here. Then just go normal list, import, accept. That'll clear. That didn't work. Let's try again. Normal list, import, accept. There we go. We just cleared the list. Now we're going to go token list, import, accept. It's going to import nothing. So we've got 2 clean lists. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, there's my cursor, I'm going to just go over to Discord. Now let's just pretend we're doing a Wednesday run. I'm going to click DSK Master List. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, find the most recent one. This is the one that I uploaded from last night's Mythic. Actually no, this is the one that I was mucking around with, so I'm just going to delete that. 29th of April, so this is the one from the Sunday night Mythic once we finished. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to import the normal list. So I'm going to click here, Alcoholics at the top. I'm going to drag all the way to the bottom. Make sure you select from the very first number to the very last line. We're going to right click and go copy. We're going to go back into WoW, into the import export list. So I've got a cursor here, and we're going to go Control V, paste that list in, and then we're going to go, this is the normal list. I'm going to go import, we're going to go yes, we're going to override what's in there. Done. Now if we click normal list, we've got all the names shown up. You can see the names Zeddy, 2Hot, because they're in the group I'm in, they're highlighted. Everyone else is grey because they're offline. I can go back to here, click in, go Control A, delete. I'm going to go back to Discord, I'm going to select the token list, so same thing. Copy, go back to WoW, go Control V to paste it. This is the token list though. We don't want to leave it on normal list because then we'll just overwrite the normal list that we just pasted. So we'll go token list, import, accept. Now if we click token list, we've got our token list imported. So we've got our 2 separate lists. That's importing. So now that we're in the raid, when we want to actually put a piece of gear up for bid, I'll just use this for example. We're going to loot the boss where you get the boss's loot window, and you're going to alt click the piece of gear. So if this was the loot window and this was the gear, I'm going to alt click it. It's then going to come up with a bid box. This is your bid box. Everyone else's bid box will pop up on their screen as well. So I'm just going to go bid. While you're doing this, you want to go /DSK and have this handy. This is a normal bit of gear because it's not a tiered token, so if I click here, I can keep an eye on what everyone's doing. It'll show me because I'm the master looter. So it's shown that I've bid and I'm the high bidder. I can retract that. I can go off spec. It's going to roll and it's going to show me as an off spec. once the majority have bid, or if you have let enough time pass, count it down, just go close bid. It's going to get rid of the window for everyone. It's going to say Zeddy wins this, and it should suicide me to the bottom. It hasn't, because I'm in a group with everyone that's offline. Because it's just the two of us, it doesn't work properly with two people, but it would suicide me down to 2 hot spot, and then 2 hot would jump up to my spot, because you only rotate when people are on. Anyway, that's not important. Once you try it in a raid, you'll see how it works. If it's a Dreadmaul person, it won't automatically assign the loot, so what you have to do is on the boss, you right click the piece of gear and you go assign loot, and then choose the person in the group. Okay. It will suicide them, it won't assign the gear, so you need to make sure that you're looking at whether that bit of loot disappears or not. Very straightforward once you give it a go. Now, after the run, we're going to export the lists. So we're going to go /DSK again. We're going to bring up the list. We're going to go to the Import Export tab. Now we're going to go normal list. We're going to hit export. You can see it's just overridden what was in here with the exported list. If you're not sure, you can just click it, go Control A, delete the stuff out again, then do it again, export. So now we know that this is the definite normal list, so we're going to go Control A, Control C. We'll go to Discord, and we'll go Master List. We're going to go DSK list. We'll go 30th of April 2018. Then we're going to go normal list. You don't have to worry about the asterisks and the underscores, that's just to give it bold and underline. You can just write normal text. I'll go space, that's the normal list, and then you can go token, go back to WoW, we'll do the same thing, delete that out, we can hit token list and go export. Now we've got the token list up, Control A, Control C, back to Discord, and we can paste that. So now we've got the normal list and the token list pasted, and that's all there is to it. If we go back to the game and let's just say, for example, I convert it to a party, so we're no longer in the raid group, and you thought, oh no, I've accidentally forgot to export the list, what's going to happen, Zed's going to kill me. Fear not, just go /DSK. You will lose all these functions because you're no longer in a raid master looting, but you can still go to the IE lists. The lists are still correct, just you can still export, so you just do the same thing. You go and export the normal list, Control A, Control copy, take it over to Discord, so you can still export after the fact if you need to. Just to quickly give a idea on a couple of other features, if we put ourselves back in a raid group as master looter and go /DSK, on the lists you've got these extra functions now as the master looter, so I can highlight a person, I can drop them down the list, I can bring them up the list, I can delete their name off the list entirely. If you want to add somebody to the list because they're new to the raid, you need to make sure you add them to both lists. I'm just going to delete myself off the second list. The way you add someone is you just highlight their frame, so I'm targeting myself, go into the list, click add. It'll add the person that you've got currently targeted, so now you can see it's added me to the bottom. I'll go to the token list and do the same thing, target, add, now it's added me to the bottom again. To murder someone, murdering is just sending them straight to the bottom. You just find them, you click murder, it'll send them straight to the bottom, as it just has done then. Delete just deletes them. So there are a few other functions. Yeah, so if you need any more info, just give us a yell in game, I can help you out. Otherwise, have a crack. Alright, see ya.